Just sort of following on from that question, I guess, is you talked of the balancing of scarce resources. The big question that comes from a number of students and also from academic staff, as well as what is the process that yourself and your senior management team to use to balance that demand for scarce resources with the demands of maintaining a high level of academic integrity, which is a lot harder to quantify than in dollars and cents?
Well, I think the process we go through in terms of resources is a budget setting process. At the end of the day, the resources that come to the university come in the form of cash from tuition fees, cash from donations, cash from research contracts, cash from the government. Then we have to choose, and University Council approve on a yearly basis, how we're going to spend those resources. $8 million or $7 million for buying materials for the library. Some things we can't choose. It's going to cost $5 million to buy coal to fire the boilers to heat the space that we all work and learn in. So those sorts of expenditures we might wish were less, but essentially the only way to make them less is either turn down the temperature or close the buildings. So that process of building up budgets comes from a bottom-up process. It comes out of the colleges and the various divisions who add up what they think they'd like to spend, what they think they need to spend. Then when you add it all up, surprise, surprise, there's more claims than there are resources available. So then you have to go back around the loop again and say, well, you can't have everything you wanted. Prioritise carefully what you can now do without. And that iterative process goes on for about 3 months as part of the budget setting process. Finally, the draft budget goes to the Finance Planning and Resources Committee of Council. That committee then makes a recommendation to Council, and about November, Council will approve essentially what is a resourcing plan for next year. And in that resourcing plan, there's all of the resource choices that need those trade-offs to be made. So it's a pretty thorough process. It involves hundreds of staff. It's not a small group sitting in a back room cooking the book somewhere. And it ends up with some pretty difficult choices every year.